few weeks ago, the Met Gala happened, and I, like a lot of people, spent 45 minutes scrolling through coverage of it, looking at outfits, watching reactions, and at no point during those 45 minutes did I feel good. Like, not once. I wasn't inspired, I wasn't delighted, I wasn't even really entertained. I was just watching kind of for the sake of watching. And when I finally put my phone down and went about the rest of my day, and I kept thinking about it, why was I feeling so awful while I was scrolling about anything during the Met Gala? To me, it has something to do with celebrity culture and the way that celebrity culture has changed to all of us. Celebrity culture has existed in its modern form since roughly the 1920s. That was when Hollywood invented the star system. And the deal was very simple and very transactional. You gave them your attention and your money, and they gave you a fantasy, an escape from your life, a glimpse into a life that is so far removed from yours that it doesn't even make you feel bad about what's actually going on in your own life. It just took you somewhere else for a while, to be someone else. Old Hollywood was almost aggressively aspirational. The studios were very controlling of the celebrities. What they wore, who they dated, what their houses looked like, what they ate. It was a constructed fantasy. And yet everybody knew it was a constructed fantasy. And it was fine because no one ever expected reality. The point was the feeling that it gave you. You almost got exactly what they wanted you to see and nothing else, no in-betweens. They basically weren't even people to us, just these ideals that we would never reach. Even into the 90s and the early 2000s, this stuck. MTV Cribs, red carpets, celebrities in these huge houses doing things that you could never dream of doing. And people watched it and felt not resentful exactly, wistful, maybe aspirational. The implicit message was, this is what success looks like. It could theoretically be you one day. Sparkly, gold, glamorous, isn't it beautiful? And that mindset held almost for 100 years, until the last decade when it collapsed. And what has replaced it and what we live through every day has become such a weird parasocial mindset towards celebrities. When social media came around, it fundamentally changed the feeling of watching them. You don't see just the curated version. You see everything. Stories, the random posts, the comments they leave, the things they buy. And when the mask slips, you stop seeing a celebrity. You stop seeing a fantasy and you start seeing an actual human. A human with flaws. A very rich, very out of touch person, because you can't really be aspirational for a person unless that person is, I don't know, Keanu Reeves. I feel very aspirational towards him. He's a great celebrity example. You can be aspirational towards an image, but once someone is a person to you, once you've seen them complain about something trivial after having the worst week of your life, something changes. I recently got this idea because of the whole James Charles situation that's been going on recently on TikTok, where he made a video calling a person who got laid off from Spirit Airlines and lost their job and is just trying to provide for themselves and their family lazy, and like telling them to go get another job.
I just got a DM on here from a girl that said, "Good morning, James. I know you'll probably never see this, but if you could just take 1 minute to read it, would really mean a lot to me. I'm really struggling right now because Spirit Airlines just filed for bankruptcy and I have lost my job. Here's a GoFundMe link. Any donations help." I'm sure they do, sweetheart. I'm sure they do. You know what else would help you? Getting another job.
Which I guess you don't need to send everybody you know as much. Like, I'm not saying he needs to send everybody that asks money. But did we need to make a video about it? Like, I know everybody's been talking about this, but it really made me think about celebrities. Because it's super weird that only maybe 10 or 15 years ago, we were seeing like Kim Kardashian, and sure, we knew things about her. We know things about her, and we've seen her, okay? But it almost felt different. Like, we weren't seeing their every waking thought on the internet, and so it just feels different. They were still at an arm's length. Like, we couldn't fully reach them yet. And that's what makes it really weird right now. Because the James Charles situation, like, why did he post that? It wasn't like it was inspiring to his community. It was just kind of mean and not even really that funny. I don't know what was going through his head when he posted this.
You lost your fucking job? Oh. What are we gonna do? Nothing. I'm gonna do nothing. You know what you need to do? Go find a fucking new one, girl. Put some effort into the workplace.
And the weird thing is, I just kept watching and I wanted to know everything about the situation. I wanted to know his response. I wanted to know the girl's response that he yelled at. I wanted to know everything. And in the end, we created enormous amounts of engagement for things that we don't want to support in the first place, for things that make us feel bad, which means the feeling itself that we get, that specific feeling, that became the product. I think we've turned celebrity culture into a designated arena for class rage just by the logic of the system, and I participate in this all the time. We live in a period of staggering wealth inequality. The gap between the richest people and everyone else is larger than it's ever been in like a century. And that produces a real psychological pressure, a feeling of something being deeply unfair, but yet having nowhere to go. Because talking about it politically is exhausting and polarizing, and nothing seems to change about it anyway. But watching a celebrity spend $40,000 at the Met Gala and getting publicly ridiculed about the outfit, it's like a release valve. It's class rage that's been made safe and fun and shareable with your community. Like, that's the one thing that we all align on as anybody other than that ultra wealthy class. You get to feel it in a still funny context without any of the political or serious weight that it usually would come with, because it's almost expected. They are in the limelight, so they can handle it. It doesn't really have a position. It doesn't really have any meaning apart from a specific person being ridiculous. There's actually a concept in sociology called moral licensing. The idea that doing something virtuous in one area gives you the psychological permission to be less virtuous in another area. I think outrage culture or cancel culture works similarly. Being righteously angry about a celebrity being excessive or being ridiculous feels productive in a way. It feels like we're doing something, so it scratches the itch without us ever having to do anything actually. They're a place where our feelings that we're constantly getting finally get to be expressed somewhere. But what's interesting is I think that the celebrities know. Not consciously maybe, but structurally, right? They know because the data tells them, the engagement tells them. And what engagement will tell you now is that controversy will perform way better than inspiration ever will. That being hated a little or being hated a lot is way more valuable than being loved silently. So they just perform excess so much harder than they would before. They say more outrageous things. They wear the $40,000 outfit. They co-host the Met Gala. Look, everybody, I'm just like you. I'm a nice billionaire. I'm actually just like you guys. Look, I love fashion too. But in response to all that excess, we perform outrage tenfold. And both sides are just feeding the machine. Neither side can stop because now there is an ecosystem that is built on the two sides of tension. It's a mutual hostage situation that everyone walked into voluntarily. That celebrity needs your anger to stay relevant, and you need that celebrity so that you can be angry and everything works out. But it's like, it actually at the end of the day makes nobody happy. This is actually very relevant to how celebrity PR works now. Scandal isn't necessarily something to be managed that much anymore. It is now something that we are engineering. The ones who understand the current algorithm understand that disappearing is more harmful than being hated. At least hate is engagement, and at least engagement will pay the bill for your $40,000 Met Gala outfit. Right. And platforms are in the middle of all this, just thriving. The emotion behind what is being said really doesn't matter. Your rage and somebody else's awe and somebody else's wholesome family video generated the exact same amount of revenue. It really doesn't matter to them. We stopped being aspirational because it didn't work with the current trends that are happening to engagement. That specific feeling of watching somebody spend an amount of money that you could only imagine ever seeing in one night is a specific sort of rage that only non-ultra wealthy will understand. And that feeling is being used against us. That feeling that we are having, or at least I'm having, is being monetized, which feels like another stab in the back. I can't get one damn thing to myself. And we're so deep inside of it that we started to think outrage was our own feeling, that we were allowed to just have that we genuinely care about a celebrity's specific stupid outfit, and that this feeling is real and that it's worth 45 minutes of our time. Unfortunately, I think we're just the last stop of a very long pipeline used to convert wealth inequality into engagement metrics, which is bleak, right? But knowing it's a pipeline doesn't automatically free you from it, right? I know all this and I think about this all the time, and I still spent 45 minutes watching the Met Gala. It's just, if this feeling needs somewhere to go, is this actually the best place for it? What do I do with this feeling? Because there's a version of this energy that I want to use that will take me somewhere. To be able to take that energy and use it and mold it and get it to push you further. Like a motivation almost. Anyways, unfortunately, I'll probably continue watching things like the Met Gala. It's hard not to. But I think I'm going to try to at least notice it now. Notice when that specific feeling arrives. Notice that it was kind of manufactured within myself. Notice that somewhere between the celebrity and my eyeballs, there are about 15 systems that are vested in making sure that I have this specific feeling and not something else. But at least I'm noticing. At least I'm noticing these things about myself. It's not nothing. Even if I can't tell if it's a genuine thought or something that I've been conditioned to believe. Which, if you watch my last video, is kind of the whole problem, isn't it? Anyways, hi, I'm Isabella, and thank you for listening and joining me today. I hope you guys cannot hear my fan loudly spinning right now. I'm so sorry. It's just 30 degrees where I live right now. And this is the first hot day of the year. And guys, I'm Canadian. Like, I'm used to, for the past months, it's been negative 30 and like 0. So this is hot. And my AC is not working in my house right now. So I'm just sitting in heat. But I have my 2 fans on, so thank God. I just wanted to say welcome to the channel. If you came from my last video, I really appreciate it. I'm so happy to have you here. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. It's an interesting one that I was having. I was thinking about the James Charles situation. I don't know if you guys have heard this. I'm pretty chronically online. But the James Charles situation where he was basically being very out of touch, that whole situation, I was like for a week thinking, I wanted to make a take on it, but I didn't want the take to be specifically about that because there's just been so many takes about that specific situation. But I wanted to still talk about almost the way I feel as a non-ultra wealthy person living on the internet and how those types of people make me feel. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I tried to make it brighter. I got a comment that my videos were really dark. I have all the lights on in my room. My room's just dark as hell. But I don't like it bright. I like one little lamp. If you can see my filming setup, it's just I have a ring light that snapped. So I have one ring light here that's broken that I'm hanging on another lamp, and then I have one lamp right there. And that's really what I've got right now. The situation was a lot better when the ring light worked. Anyways, if you liked today's video, you should hit that like button because it really helps me out. If you had fun this time, you should subscribe because I guarantee you'll have fun next time because I do post every other Monday. Anyways, love ya. Great to see ya, and I will see ya next time. Bye.